hello. How are you today? All right. So that is a little bit about Abacus. And so we're so excited to have you here. And we're talking about the Abacus. This is what the Abacus does. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then 6, and 7, 8, and 9, and then 10. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to learn how to read the abacus. Now, why are we learning how to read the abacus? We're going to learn how to read the abacus because after we learn how to read the abacus, we're going to have to do adding, subtraction, multiplication, and division. When we understand how to read the abacus, we can do all that arithmetic. Why do we want to? Because it provides number flexibility and number fluency and number confidence and number everything. So this is about laying the groundwork, laying foundation of arithmetic, of math. And so if you have children, or if you feel like that you want to, strengthen your math skills, abacus will help. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand how to read the abacus. Hello, Gypsy Rose. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice that all the beads touching this horizontal bar. This horizontal bar is what tells me what's being counted. So here it's being counted is 4. We have 4. So you notice that we don't have a 5. Well, the top bead has a value of 5. No matter what, the top bead will always have a 5. I use my hands a lot. So this is not to be demeaning. I use my hands a lot. And I'm not Italian, because Italians use their hands a lot. Anyways, so we have 5. This is 50. This is 500. This is 5,000. Hello, everybody. And then this is 50,000. So as we read this, we also know with the abacus, there's a place value. With the place value, this will be our ones place. Ones. Why? Because you'll notice that there's an indicator. This indicator will always indicate ones, but it doesn't matter if you do this one or that one, as long as you choose one. Like Pokemon, I choose you, so I choose this dot. So I choose this dot and it will be my one. Sometimes I choose this one depending on the positioning of my camera. When we're looking at this, and we are going to continue to count because it is nice to know and nice to be able to read what we're doing. So we have our ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Notice, oh, that doesn't look good. Notice, oh, that still doesn't look good. Come on. What if I did this a little bit so you could see? There we go. So notice I have 9. Over here is my tens. Just as I have here, like we write, this is the tens. So 10, 20, 19, 29, 39, 49, and then 59. After 59, we have 69, 79, 89, 99. And then we do 199. We have 200, 300, 400. Notice I got rid of my zeros. These are now zeros, but I still count them. Why? Because it means that this is the 200. Because it's 400. Because it's 400, I still need to have my 400. Because it would be the same thing as the 401 or 405, 405. Or please slow down because it's finally... Oh, wait. Please slow down because this is finally making sense to me. Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for letting me know. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice I have my place value. My place value, I have labeled it up here. That's what this means. Each column is a place value. Thank you for the comment. And then this is 5. This will always be 5. It will be 5 no matter what. Did that make sense? Okay. So after 5 is 6. After 6 is 7. It's just like how we count. But notice we have the 5, 6, 7. And we can decompose. We have 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 plus 3 is 8. 5 plus 4 is 9. And every column that will be here will always have the full number of 9. So if we squish all of the beads together to hug the horizontal bar, that will always be 9 no matter what. But it depends on what it is, right? So here is 99. And then if I did this one, if I squished all of the beads together to hug the horizontal bar, because we're singing Kumbaya. Because we're singing Kumbaya and they're all squishing together, that's 9. So as we look, we have 999. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, everybody. Hello. Did that make sense? I get a little silly. It's okay to laugh. If it's too much, then let me know. I'm not sure how I'll be able to maintain it. So now we're looking. If I did this, this is thousands. I don't know if you could see that. This is the thousands. So now I have 1,999. Sarah, are you still with me? Are you okay? Does that make sense? I'm asking you because you're the only one that commented, and it's always nice. I jumped in mid-lesson. Oh, hey! Mymir, I just joined halfway. It seems interesting. Oh, Esther, yes. So we're going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. When we count it, we're just counting all the beads. Oh my, okay, good. Oh, good. I'm so happy you commented so I can continue on. Yeah, okay, I'm happy. I'm so happy. Okay. So Mymar and Esther. So this is 4. Every time the beads are hugging the bar, we're counting it. Every time it touches the bar, this is the horizontal bar. This horizontal bar tells me that it's being counted. Because it's being counted, oh, I don't know if I could do that. Oh, I wonder if I could do that. Maybe, oh, that's better. Ooh, that's better. So because we're counting, this is 4. This is 5. All the top beads will have a value of 5. I just said, huh, out loud. Right? Because it's like, that makes a lot of sense. So we have 5. After 5 is 6. It's just, that's the way I'm talking, right? So I was talking as if I'm, talking to children. So 5, 6, and then 7. 5, 6, 7, 8. If you notice, there's a 5 and 3, so the kids can decompose. We can decompose. We can see it and I'll be like, that's 8. And then this is 9. So if you look, all the beads are hugging the horizontal bar. When they hug, that means it's 9. All of it is 9, no matter what. But we could do this. This is 8. How do I know? 5, 6, 7, 8. And then if you kind of look at it, you know that there's a 1 bead at the bottom. But if you know that 5 and 2, that's 7. Do the colors mean anything, Emmy? No, the colors mean nothing. Because I have this one, and this one's brown, and it doesn't matter. What it matters is all the placement. Thank you for the question. It all matters about the placement. It all matters about the top bead and the bottom beads. So we could do the same thing. We will do the same thing. I'm going to label this as my 1s because I have multiple dots. So when I do that, I have 1, 10, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. So when I count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. So the question is, how do people like addition on this? I understand being able to read it, but applying it, yeah. You're live, yay! Hey, JP! What if there's more than 1 on the top? If there's more than 1 on the top, then that means it's a Chinese abacus. Sarah, I will get to your question. We will be doing adding and subtraction. We can also do multiplication and division on the abacus. And, but the first thing to do is to understand how to read it. So, VMAC, when there's 2 like this, that means it's 5. So it's 5 plus 5 is 10. So this is 10. Counting's the same, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But on the Chinese abacus, there's multiple ways. So this is 5. This is also 5. So now I have 2 ways to do 5. 6 is still the same. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The problem with this is now we're no longer using our columns as a place value. What we're doing is we're now combining this one as 10. But now this is 10, but then this is 10. But wait, there's more. This is also 10. And I'm like, what? I didn't know you could do multiplication division on it. Now I want to. Yeah, it depends. It depends on how far we can get along. VMAC, so this is 10. The problem is now there's 3 ways to make a 10. And then another problem is okay, so in the Chinese abacus, this is what 10 is. And then on the Japanese abacus, this is 10. Now, let's say I'd want to do 20. That's also 20. And I'm like, what? That can't be 20, but it is, if you think about it, because this is 10, and then this is 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. However, on the Japanese abacus, this is 20. And then let's say we did 100. Well, this would be 100. And I'm like, what? That doesn't make sense, but it is. I don't have it here. 100 on the Japanese abacus would just be this, no matter what. But now we're like really getting confusing. So is the abacus the standard now? Yes, it is the standard now, Sarah. Oh, that's how it works. Yeah. So then if this is 100, this is 110. Oh, it got confusing really quick. And then this is 1,000. I'm like, what? That doesn't make 1,000 because it's already 3 columns. Anyways, I don't teach the Chinese abacus. I teach the Japanese one, and the Japanese one is the normal now. It's the new normal, like the new math. But what it is, you know what the Japanese do, like they always do, is they make it more efficient. So the Chinese, they had it and made sense. It comes from the 10 bead, the 10 bead across, and you've seen the 10 bead. It's very popular. It's in Target, or it's in like the learning stores and all this that. It might be in your preschool, and it's the 10 bead that goes across. The difference with that is it's horizontal. So it goes like this, and it's all the 10 beads. And it doesn't really do place value, which is interesting. Whereas the Chinese one, there's place value, but not fully, because I just showed you how. So like this, right? This is 10 and this is 110. It still baffles my mind. But the Japanese made it more efficient. And with the Japanese version, there is abacus competition. So if you guys want to, you can join a abacus competition. I don't. I'm too slow for it. I wish I could stay, but it's like 1 a.m. for me. Oh yeah. Sorry. Amazing teacher. Oh, thank you so much. Have a good night. I'm always live. I go live in different times, just to catch the different time zones. But have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Sarah. But thank you for your comment. Thank you for your comments as well and your question. Okay, so we're back here. We're back to understanding how to read the abacus. When we read the abacus, we do 1, 2, 3, 4. So all the beads that are touching the horizontal bar. I was just talking to my husband about wanting to learn this. Oh my God, really? Why would you want to learn? Why? It's interesting. I never really wanted to. I was kind of forced. Not because I learned it when I was a kid. I learned it when I was old. I actually learned abacus when I was 30 something, like before my kids, because my dad wanted to start a business and he didn't want to learn, so he forced my brother and I to learn, which is another story, because that's what Chinese parents do. They just force the kids. But anyways, going down this path, you're not old. But going down this path, I do see that abacus is really beneficial. Using the abacus is really beneficial, especially just like laying the groundwork. Can you show us 7 plus 6? Yes, I can. Yes. Oh, guess what I got? Guess what I made? I made it. I made a flippy. I was going to do this. I made a flippy formula thing, and I was going to sell it. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I like making things. So I'm watching this while in school. Oh my God, Ethan. Okay, so this flippy thingy. So I have it where we have the sides, and it's kind of cool. It's almost like the one that I made for my kids, but I made it printable. And I didn't make it to the, I didn't put it on a cardstock. But I think if you were to purchase it, it would be best if you put it on cardstock. So then I have the lines, and then now I'm just cutting. Now this is just craft. I'm just crafting, because what I'm doing is I'm getting ready for adding the 6. Are you in Canada? No, I lived there a little bit. But then I moved to America. I moved to California. So I've been in California for a long time. But sometimes you'll hear the Canadian accent out of me, but most of the time I think I've lost my Canadian accent. I know that when I talk to some of my friends, I still hear the Canadian accent with them. So we're doing plus 6. We're doing plus 6. Plus 6 is plus the 10 minus the... Oh, I forgot the wrong one. So I should have done this one. Because it's going to help. This is going to help. I really think it's cool. I think it's really cool. Okay, we're going to do 7 plus 6. I'm just trying to get it ready. Just getting it ready. So it's a little flippy thingy. So and then the idea is it's to add interactivity. Yeah. So I think I was going to sell it for $3 on my website, because I was just thinking, like, I was thinking of like the ones that I've used, and I thought it was kind of cool. So this was more, so that's what I got. So then we got to do plus the 6. So let's plus the 6. I kind of like keeping it all the same, because then they know, I mean, you could cut it individually, but then you'd have to find it. I like them in a row so it's easier to see, because this is being used as a reference. So now I'm just cutting. People are watching me cut. Yes, it will help. It will make sense when we go to the question. Let me go to the question. Okay, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Okay. Thank you so much for liking my live. I'm just showing you how I cut. All right, all right, all right. So, and then I'm going to show you how to fold. This is how I fold. I'm being silly. I'm just being nervous now. I'm nervous and I'm silly. Okay. So, the question is 7 plus 6. Okay. So I got that. Now I need to have my paper. Okay, here. Okay. So we have 7 plus 6. Thank you for showing us this. Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. That's genius. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, thank you. I'm not a genius, though. I feel like I'm just very creative. 6 plus, okay, that's what we're doing, right? Yes. Okay, so 7. So on the abacus, we're going to do 7. When we add 7, that's what we're doing. That's all we're doing. But what's the problem? Now, the problem is we want to add the 6. We don't have enough beads to add the 6. So what do we do? What do we do? Well, this is where these come into play. What does this mean? Well, these are just for those people that don't understand, this is what we're doing with the making of a 10. What we need to do is we need to understand how to plus a 10. I'm jumping ahead. Usually, okay, you know what? I should not jump ahead. I'm going to talk about it. So when we make a 6, how do we make a 6? We don't have any more beads to add a 6. So what does that mean? We're going to have to utilize this 10. When we awake to sleep, then I realized there weren't abacus that was horizontal, that are like horizontal. There are plenty, aren't the? Yes, yes. The abacus that you see are horizontal. They're not vertical. The vertical ones is the modern, and it's also better. But yeah, because the horizontal ones don't do place values. So here is plus 6. I don't have enough beads to plus the 6. One way to add the 6 is we're going to utilize this 10. How to utilize the 10 is, if we notice, we have 6 plus 4 is equal to 10. Okay. Have a good night. I hope you're able to sleep well now. Okay. So this is what we're teaching children in school. We're teaching children how to 6 plus the 4 is equal to 10. That's all we're teaching. But what does Abacus do? Abacus actually takes it one step further. Why? Because we're going to make our numbers work for us. To do that, we're going to understand that if we want to have this 6 equals to 10, that's not balanced anymore. To make it balanced, we're going to take away the 4. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to plus the 10 because that's what I want to do. I want to add the 6. So what did I just do is I just isolated the variable, and now I want to substitute this formula into here. I'm going to plus the 10, but wait, there's a minus 4. So what did I do? I want to plus the 10. I want to plus the 6. I need to plus the 10 minus the 4, but I cannot minus the 4. So now what do? I take my nifty little tool, and this is where we have to understand how to add a 5. When I do a 4, it's the same concept. If I want to add the 4, but this time I'm utilizing the 5. When I want to, make a 5, this is not balanced. Thank you, Kim. Yes. So it's minus the 4 is equal to minus the 5 plus the 1. And that's how you get it. Did that make sense? So this is the two-step equation. So now the problem is we have to recognize that right here is our two-step equation. And so then when we take this to in here, we're going to substitute this to here. So this is too much work. It's 13. Maybe use abacus like division or multiplication. Cars are cool. You have to start from addition. But Kim, did that make sense? So you have to be careful with the word. So like this, 7 plus 7 is also a two-step equation. So 7 plus 7 is also a two-step. The reason why, what does the colors represent? Oh, they don't mean anything. So lumber boy, there's nothing about the colors. The only thing is it's the top bead. So if I use all brown, what we need to understand is the top bead will always be 5 no matter what. So when we do 5, we have 6, 7, 8, and then 9. And then we have 10. After 10 is 11, 12, 13, 14. The colorful one is only nice for the young kids, just as Kim mentioned. I might not get it. I'm trying to sign up for your online abacus, but it doesn't show the... Oh, okay, JP. Okay, I will, and we're back. Kate, we're back. Okay, cars are cool. When we count, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. JP, I gotta go look at what you're... Okay, I'll go look at it tonight and see what's going on. It doesn't matter what row you use. Actually, Sherry, it matters on the indicator. This indicator is my ones place. So because I have my ones place, I always start where the dot is. But it doesn't matter if you choose this dot or that dot. It doesn't matter. As long as you choose one. Just like in Pokemon, I choose you. It matters on it matters what you're trying to do. So then let's take a look at so if I line it up, I have 4. Now, this is my ones. This one is my tens. This would be 40. I hope to catch you next time. Like, oh, see you later, Esther. JP, how old are your kids, or is this for you? I'm just wondering. Can we use like variables like the power of? No. This is just basic arithmetic. So all we're doing, I mean, right now we're trying to understand how to read the abacus. You know what, JP? I will email you if that's okay, and we can have a conversation offline. This is just arithmetic, which is just adding, subtraction, multiplication, division. That's all we're doing. So this abacus is the gateway to complex math. And so when you understand, if you have a strong math foundation, then abacus, you don't need it. Thank you so much, Diego, for the rose. It's completely up to you. And I'm in geometry. Could this help? No. It could help, but not in geometry, right? It could help to strengthen your number sense. Like we do a lot of multiplication and math facts. If you want to, you could stick to a calculator if you don't choose to understand how to read the abacus. That's fine too. Can we use this in middle school? You would have to start from, everybody still has to start from understanding how the beads read. I mean, you could start it in middle school. You can start it in middle school. That's not a problem. I mean, I've had students that were in middle school, but there was a little bit of attitude. But if you can go past the attitude, then it's fine. Usually the kids that are open to this, and adults that are open to this, are usually the ones. So the people that are looking at this are usually adults that are looking for an alternative, or children because they don't know anything else. You can teach middle school. I do know a few people that are in math intervention that was thinking about introducing abacus, which is good because it provides confidence and they'll see it more than the pictures, because pictures and these are confusing. But if you notice that there's a pattern, so when I'm adding a 4 and I want to add another 4, there's a pattern right there. I want to add the 5 minus the 1. But I don't need to say it all the time. It's because I'm demonstrating and I have to write it out. That's why it's confusing. But it's only because you don't, unless you know it, then it'll be great. But if you don't know it, I have to explain more. It's just like doing new math. New math is different, or using the blocks, right? So in school, they're having the kids use these blocks. Well, we still got to teach them how to use the blocks. I mean, you could use the blocks in middle school. They're starting to use the blocks in middle school. Why? For multiplication and division, right? Yeah, not a problem. Cars are cool. But it all depends. It all really depends on like how the kids go. But like even with the blocks, they teach this in middle school. You could teach this in Abacus. You could teach Abacus in middle school. It just depends. Okay, so now it's 8. Yes, you're right. That's 8. And then this is 9. But if I did this, this is 90 because this is my tens. We look at our place value. The abacus has place values. So we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, and our 10,000s. So when we did 8, we can do 800, or we can do 8,000, or we could do 88,800. Does that make sense, Lumber Boy? Another question. Yes, cars are cool. Not a problem. As long as it's not, as long as it's not, as long as it's respectful. Can we do fractions? Yeah. You know what? We could do fractions, but fractions is just division, really. And then, so the tens is the green. I'm sorry. We can do fractions. Fractions is just division. However, we can also do decimals. So the blue is only, yes, the top bead is only blue. The top bead was always 5, no matter what. Did that make sense? Cars are cool. Yeah, so the top is always, and then, yeah, it's always the top bead. The top bead is, because if I change it to this, then this is, these are 5. So the top bead is 5. So 10 is the green on the, yeah, the tens is over here. So if I did this, that would be 10, and then 20, and then 30, and then 40. I like this because it really shows the decimal doesn't move. It's a number. And it's awesome. Yes, thank you, Melty. Yeah. Yeah, you know, cars are cool. Let me know if you have any more questions. I mean, their questions are make sense, right? And they're not disrespecting questions. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. You can only count the beads touching the bar. Yes, thank you, Kim. So you can only touch, so because the bar, this horizontal bar, in Abacus we call it the beam, but this horizontal bar is what counts. It's what we know. I don't even know how to explain that. Like, yeah, it's when the beads are touching the horizontal bar, we know that those beads are counted. So notice that these are 0, these are all 0, but it's a 0, right? 40, that's 40. But if I did this, this is 45. So anytime that the beads are counting, that as I'm hoping that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. So you know why cars are cool? It was because earlier today somebody was like, "This is too much," and I just overcomplicated it. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna fuss with that. Can you explain the whole thing because I'm lost? Oh, okay, yeah. My dog and I are learning so much. Ah, lumberjack. That's so funny. Okay, so we do one, such a fuss, 83. Are those questions? Thank you for helping me leave. Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. Have a good night. And it was nice to chat with you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anytime the bottom beads are, anytime the beads are touching this horizontal bar, we're going to count them. So, such a fuss, when we do this, this is 5. All the time, the top bead, the top bead will always be 5 no matter what. So I have my little place value here, right? These are the ones. So this is 5 and then 6. So we have 5 plus 1 is 6. And then 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 plus 3 is 8. And then 5 plus 4 is 9. So when all the beads are hugging the horizontal bar, that's 9. Can you show the subtraction with the regrouping problem? Yeah, we could do subtraction with the regrouping. But let's talk about this first, because such a fuss. This is the tens. So notice I have a tens and the ones. So Abacus mimics the way we write. After we understand how to read, we'll go into subtraction. When we do 20, we have 21, 22, 23, 24. Did that make sense? So then we have 29. How do I know? Because I have 20 and then 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. Yes. So how do you know from 9 ones to go to the tens place? How do I know? Well, it's just like how we write. So when we write, how do you know to write 10? It would be kind of like that, right? So if we look at the ones, it's just 1. This is the first time I actually understand an abacus. Hey, Oreo monster. Yes. So just as we do this, this is 10, this is 20, 30, 40, and then 50. When we look at it, it would be like, how do you know to write a 10? The way you write a 10. How do you know? I mean, that's the question, right? Like, how do you know when we write the number 9, how do we know to write 10? Kind of the same concept, if that makes sense, right? There's not enough pieces in such point of view to make it 10, so you automatically regroup. Whew. Yeah, yeah. I'm old school, so that's a lot of you know. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's just interesting. I would never have thought of that. So the blues are no matter what. Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm from old school math, so I don't know too much about grouping and regrouping and making sure. So, but thank you so much for helping, Emmy. Yeah, so automatically regroup. Um, yeah, great. Did that make okay? So such a fuss is okay? Is that all right? So if I do 50, then I do 60. I have a student who uses an abacus as an accommodation on their test, so this is interesting. You know, I'm just letting you know, abacus is not for special people, not only for special eds. Wait, guys, what's going on? SP, we're reading the abacus. That's what we're doing. We're being special right now. I told my kids that somebody said that this was used for special ed, and I told my kids that they're part of special ed, and they're like, nah, whatever. Okay, sorry. Okay, 1. So when we count, anytime the beads are touching the horizontal bar, this is counted as 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then notice we don't have any more beads. I must be special. I think we're all special because I've been teaching this for a very long time. I've been teaching this for more than 20 years. But we shouldn't discriminate. We shouldn't discriminate. It's for everybody. And it's for young people and old. All right. So you'll notice there's not enough beads for 5. If there's not enough beads for 5, what do we do? Well, that's where the top bead comes into play. The top bead always has a value of 5 no matter what. Always has a, hey, Justina. The top bead always has, the reason why I say the top bead, because you do have an abacus that is single colored. And so it's all about, the function is the same, it's just about place value. So placement of the beads. So in here, I choose, like Pokemon, I choose you. I'm going to use my indicator to choose as 1. This is my ones place. Just as I choose, this indicator is my ones place. When I line it up, they function exactly the same. They have the same concept. The ones, the tens, the hundreds, the thousands. Ones, tens, hundred, thousands. So when I'm going to move it down a little bit, when I use the 5 bead, that means this is 5. So we count as 5, and then this is 6, and then this is 7. They work exactly the same. So don't get too hung up on the colors. It's not, the colors just make it look pretty. It's all about what the beads are and the positions of the beads. And the positions of the beads. Okay. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8. So then we do this one. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. Make sense? So now when we do 10, we go to the next column. Just as we write tens. I would have to really marinate on the regrouping. But the tens. Thank you so much for sharing my life. So we have tens. This is 10. I'm going to remove this one so then it doesn't get too confusing. But we have 10. So after 10 is 11, 12, 13, 14. After 14, we do 15. We can go 15 and then 25. After 25, hey, Despain. Barbara. Okay. So we have 25 and 35 and then 45. And then after 45, we have the hundreds. Thank you so much for sharing my life. So we have 500, 45. Does that make sense? I was just watching an anime that uses an abacus and was totally confused how it works. Thank you. Oh, so did I explain it or are you still confused? Acorn Arison. Yeah. Okay. So then, SP. I think it was SP. Oh, it makes sense. Okay, good. So here we have our thousands. If you could see, this is my thousand. This column is my thousands. And then this column is my 10,000s, just as we write. So here, when we write it, we have 50,300. So what does that look like? 50, 0, 310. The reason why is because this is my 0. My 0 is my ones place. So my 0 is my ones place. I have 10. I have 1. Look at the number. Don't look at like, and then look at the bigger picture. So what I would do is I would see 50319, and then I would group it together. So your dad didn't want to learn how to use that. No. So all the blue beads are 5. Yes. How do you know to add and subtract on it? How do you add and subtract? We can do that right now. Yes, my dad didn't learn how to use the abacus, which is strange, but he was like, I know business and I want to do business stuff and you teach. And I'm like, rah, all right. Oh, I get it. I show the numbers now. Can you add? Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's do some adding and we could do some subtraction. Yeah. Yeah, it was a strange thing, but that's what Chinese parents do. They always tell the kids to do everything. And he's really old school Chinese. And so a lot of it was like, you learn it and then you teach it. And I was like, and then he takes all the money. Because, anyways. So, but the 9 and the 0 looks the same. The 9, that's 9. This is 9. All the beads are touching the horizontal bar, the 0. So pay attention, Mary, pay attention to the horizontal bar. If there's beads touching the horizontal bar, then that's being counted. If not, then these are considered 0. So if I did this, this would be 19 because the 1 is here and the 9 is here. Does that make sense? So, and then because they're touching each other, they're singing Kumbaya, with, holding hands and stuff, then they're connected. So because they're connected and they're touching the horizontal bar, they are counted. So because they're connected, yeah. Does that make sense? I always wanted to learn. I've seen trending videos. You see? Okay, good. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to add. I can add easy, right? I can add 120. How do I do that? I add the 1. So add 1 and I add 20. 20. So it's different. Obviously, it's different when I write it out. Because when I write it out, we all can see it. It all makes sense. Oh. Yeah. Let me move my stuff. So the difference is, in school, we focus on the result. However, in Abacus, we focus on the add-in. So the way that I broke up these questions is that I want to make sure that the kids understand how the 2 is added. So when we look at it, the answers will be different. We're not focused on the answers. The goal is not, we don't want to worry about the goal. We want to worry about our journey. Why? What does that mean? Well, if you notice, I have 6 and then I want to add 2. So I'm going to add the 2. That's all I'm doing. I want to add these 2 beads. The question is do I have enough beads to add the 2? Yes, there is enough beads to add the 2. So what am I going to do? That's 8. So we understand that that's 8. Well, there was another question, right? The other question in the video that I was just doing research on, they were like, okay, that's 8. Well, let's do 5 plus 3 because that's 8 too. And I'm like, well, okay, you could do that. Not a problem. We have 5 and then we have 3. We're added 3. So is there enough beads to add 3? Yeah, there's enough beads to add 3. So then what we're doing is we're just moving the beads. So here is 4. We're going to add 4. We have 1 and then plus 3. So this is considered simple. Why? Because we don't need to use the formulas. There are 2 sets of formulas that we need to memorize. One of them is how to make a 5, and the next one is how to make a 10. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand how the beads move. Can you do 1 when you don't have enough? Yes. Yes. So, which is my next thing, and you're absolutely right. See, that's the thing, right, Harold? The thing is the kids will start to understand what happens when we don't have enough. When the kids are young, when they start understanding this and going through the abacus method, they're really understanding critical thinking. And that's one of the things, right? Like we're now like, well, what happens when there's not enough? Okay, so here, let's do the same answer, which is 8. But we don't memorize our doubles in abacus. What we do memorize is our add-ins. How did we get there? So in this situation, we have 4. We're going to add the 4. I add the 4, but notice I don't have enough beads to add the 4. What do? Well, somehow I have to finagle and utilize this 5. I'm going to make my abacus, I'm going to make the numbers work for me. I'm not going to let them just sit around and just be, and just be freeloading off of me. We're going to make them work. To make this work for us, if I show you, if I did 4 plus 5, I'm sorry, 4 equals 5, it's not enough, right? So if I did 4 is equal to 5, that's not enough. There you go. That's not enough. So how do we balance this equation? We teach children 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. We teach this to children. Now, because I'm talking to adults, I'm hoping that you guys know how to balance this equation. When we balance this equation, we would need to take away the 1. So that's how we understand how to do this. Is it bad if I'm looking for an abacus on Amazon? No, actually, there's a few people that have already started to purchase an abacus, and so I think there's going to be a spike because of my lives. So 4. Now, this is plus 4 is equal to plus the 5 minus 1. This is a formula that we need to memorize. That is why I made these little do thingies. So if I want to add the 4, I'm going to plus the 5 minus the 1. So I'm going to plus the 5, and I take away the 1 because that's too many. Do you have a link to where you get a kickback? I do, but I didn't put it on. I thank you so much. I do, but I didn't put it on my website. I'll have, you know what? I should put it on my website. You're right. You're absolutely right. Thank you so much, Lumber Boy. I get it now. Right? It's super simple. Simple to use, easy to understand. But the thing is we know these. We're just going to utilize it. So there's a whole set. There's a whole set of these, right? We know another one. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. What about the number 11? What about the number 11? That would be easy. What are we doing with number 11? Give me a question. So we have 11. This is 11. How do I know? I have my 1s and I have my 10s. So so I have 1 here and 1 here, and that's 11. That's what that is. Tell me a question, Mousy. So, SP, just so you know, there's a set. So that's why we have a set. If you noticed, I have this little doohickey. Plus the 4 is equal to plus the 5 minus 1. Then there's this 3, right? If we're going to do a 3, it's plus the 5 minus 2. And then, again, if I want to look for the 2, it's plus the 5 minus 3. And then, if it's over here, right, if I'm looking for a 1, it'll be plus the 5 minus 4. How do you know where to start your tenths? Is that where the... Yes, Mary. Yes, Mary Tisa. Yes. So what I did is I chose a indicator. This indicator tells me the 1's place. Is it be either here or here? It doesn't matter. I could choose this one, and then I'll have a lot of decimals. Hey, Grace! Welcome back! It's like old friends again. Okay, so Maritissa, did that make sense? Makes sense, right? Because you can choose. It doesn't matter. So if I had a bigger abacus, here's my 13 column one. I have all of these that I could choose from. I have a lot more Pokemon dots. The reason why I say Pokemon dots, because what it is you just choose. I choose you. You know, like in Pokemon, there's that one, I choose you. So that's why I was saying it. I don't know if you know Pokemon. But yeah, you can choose any of these dots, and could you do 7 plus 8? Wait, guys, I'm brushing. Oh, good oral hygiene, SP. Good. I don't get this. Okay, Stephanie. So, Hollow, before I continue, I'm going to count on the abacus and then we will do your question. Is that all right? So, Stephanie, when we count, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Anytime the beads are touching the horizontal bar, this is the horizontal bar. This line right here is my horizontal bar. This is my line that I need to pay attention to. Notice that these beads are connected and they're touching. This is all considered 4. But notice there's no more beads to have 5, so we do 5. The top bead is always 5. So because the top bead is always 5, it doesn't matter. This is 5, this is 5, this is 5. Now the difference is we start talking about place values. So with the place values, I have my 1s. The reason why I start here is because I have an indicator. I gotta run, Lumberboy. Thank you so much. I'm excited to learn more next live. Oh yeah, Lumberboy, I'll see you later. After watching your live the first time, I went to deep dive into Abacus. I'm so invested, Grim. You guys are so funny. You guys are so funny. Welcome back, Grim. Welcome back. Is there going to be an AAA, Abacus Anonymous? Oh my God. I got like kind of stupid and I said, MAGA, make Abacus great again. I get really dumb. Okay, so Stephanie, we're back to this. So when we do the 5, we do 6. After we do 6, we do 7. Does that make sense? So if you look, we have 5, 6, 7, and then 8. 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. Somebody should make sure of that. Okay, good, Stephanie. So what's going to happen is, how do I make a 10? To make a 10, it's just like how we have place values with our numbers. So if I made a 10, it's just a 1 and a 0, and that's it. So we can continue to count. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15, and then 16. Oh, that's a good one. 67, 67, 67. I know that. I'm not that old. I had to search it up, and I'm like, I don't know what it means, 67. What do you mean by 67? So that's what it is. 6, 7, 6, 7, 67. Yeah. So we can do 670. Does that make sense? So that's 600, because we're at the hundreds, 70, right? Or we could do 6,700. Does that make sense? So it doesn't matter as long as we understand our place value. Now, again, if I chose this dot, this would be 6.7 because it's my ones place. This is my ones. If this is my ones, anything after the ones will always be decimals. Make sense? So even here, my brain, yeah, my brain thought of other places. Wait, what is 6'7"? 6'7" was there's a basketball person, and they weren't sure if he was 6 feet or 7 feet. Long division is much easier on the abacus than the modern way. Abacus is underappreciated. Yeah, abacus is underappreciated. It's either that or it's not well known. You know, like it's the underdog. But I think it's also the connotation of like a cultural thing. I'm not here to be racist, but it could be like it's an Asian thing, and because it's Asian, it's very mystical. It could be that. I don't know. I'm trying to popularize abacus and show that it works just as well in mainstream math. And so that was the thing. And that's why I'm using mainstream technology, mainstream terms. I didn't know it's still this year. Yeah. I've been teaching abacus for 20 plus years, and when I was thinking about putting it onto the internet, I started researching on all of the videos that's out there, and they're very much in their own little world, and there's not too many. I'm shopping for an abacus now, John. Yes, you can multiply on the abacus. We can do that. We can do multiplication on the abacus, but we understand how to read it. Stephanie, you're okay? I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page before I continue on. Thank you so much for the hearts. Wow, we're at 6,000. Again, so the reason why I use specific math terminologies like isolate the variable, substitution, two-step equation, that's all the same verbiage that's in mainstream math that we can use in abacus. But nobody made that connection until, I don't know anybody else has made that connection until I came along. You're right. My teacher and his wife are explaining how them. I'm sorry. No, you're right. My teacher and his wife were explaining how to use them, and their kids use it. It's cultural. Thanks for sharing your culture. Yeah, you're welcome. Not a problem. But it's one of those things. It's my kids. My you know what? I actually didn't learn it when I was a child. I learned it when I was an adult, and that was only because my dad forced me to learn abacus because he wanted to start a school. He wanted to start a side business to teach kids. If it wasn't for him going to Korea, I'm Chinese, but if it wasn't for him to go to Korea, I would have never be here. And it was just really interesting. And so, yeah, if you notice, like on YouTube, there's a bunch of Indians, like a whole bunch of Indians. Like I think there's a abacus school around every corner, just like there's a Starbucks in America. It's like crazy. I've always wondered about them, and every now and then. Did he start one? Yeah, we have a school out in Monterey Park. If you're in the area, we have a school. We've been around. We've been in Monterey Park for 20 plus years. My brother has the school now. My dad decided to retire, and so I decided to go. I decided to go through the online and to see what I can do. What kind of wave I can make. I didn't want to be I did not want to be part of in person because I just felt like that there's the reach is not as big. You should move to Victorville. No. Funny, we actually had a few people that came from Ontario, all the way from Ontario to go to our school. And they would do that for a couple of years. It is an investment. Like we would go through, there's a whole curriculum, and the whole curriculum takes about like 4 or 5 years. And she did it enough, she did it long enough until, money got a little tight. And then, anyways, but she left, but she was very appreciative, and the kid was really good. He was really good. Okay, yeah. So we understand how to do this. We're okay. So now what we're going to do some multiplication. Yeah? Are we ready for multiplication? We're going to do multiplication, but don't forget, we're jumping through after addition. So, do you do Zoom classes? I do Zoom classes. I do weekly. I do every week for a half an hour, and it's usually one-on-ones. Right now, I have students that are 7 and 4. So, but they're not in the same class because the mentality is different. Yeah, and they're only a half an hour because that's as much as they can handle. It's a little intensive, right? Doing math for half an hour is pretty intensive, especially at that age. Because usually, even in school, they don't do math for that long. So we're gonna do multiplication. So easy multiplication. I'm currently taking college classes, and I'm just learning about it now. Yeah, Mousy. Yeah, and I learned it after college, and I was like, how is this even possible? Because after going through the whole abacus curriculum, I'm like, this is the greatest thing next to sliced bread, and this is the greatest thing next to Betty White. I'm hoping that you know who Betty White is. She was pretty awesome. All right. So what we're going to do, so the one thing that we're going to do is we have to understand abacus doesn't really go through learning multiplication facts. Can I enroll my daughter in your Zoom? She loves math. Yeah, yeah. You know what? You want to DM me and we can talk about it. We can talk about it. Yeah, we can talk about it. How old is your daughter, if I can ask? So we're going to do 73 times that by 6. 9. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You want to DM me and we can talk about it and see if it fits into your budget, if that's okay. Okay. Cool. That's fantastic. Okay. Yeah. No. Thank you. I appreciate that. And as long as she's open to something different, but it would be kind of cool. And then because she's 9, we would go through a lot of this a lot quicker. It wouldn't be one. It wouldn't be something different. Okay, sorry. So we're gonna do this. This is multiplication. What we're gonna do is we're gonna understand where are we gonna put our answer. Now, to put our answer, the reason why is we need to know a rough estimate where we're gonna put our answer. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna count our digits. 1, 2, 3. When we count our digits, when do you do live? Wait. When do you do your live stream here on TikTok? I go every sporadic because it depends on because I'm trying to reach different people. I've been reaching out into like Europe and then Africa. So I'm kind of like all over the place, really. So I have one in the morning, I have one sometimes in the afternoon, and then sometimes I have one either now or later tonight. So I also do like midnight math. So yeah, just follow me and whenever I'm on, maybe you get that notification. But yeah, I kind of jump a little bit because of the different time zones that everybody's in. So we start from 3. Why? Because we have 3 digits. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. When I count, I need to understand that my answer is going to be right around here somewhere. It's going to be like 100 something, maybe. I don't know. But we're going to try it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do 6 times 7. We always go outside. We always go to the left to right. Just like, oh yeah, thank you, Mousy. So just like we say 73 and not 370, right? So when we talk, it's 73. That's how we're going to do our abacus. We do 6 times 7 first. So 6 times 7 is 42. So I'm going to add my 4 and then my 2. And now I have this one, 6 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18. So I add my 1 and then I add my 8. And my answer, what's my answer? Anybody know what my answer is? Now, the reason why this is different than new math. In new math, I don't know if this is going to confuse you, but in new math, what they do is they do it, and in new math, they actually write it out. So that's why it's different. Maritessa, the 5. Almost. So it's actually 4, 3, 8. I feel weird than what I learned back then. Yeah, it's different. So in new math, we do 6 times 70, and then that's 420. 420. Oh, sorry. So the difference is in new math, we have to write it out. In abacus, we don't need to write out. Yes, exactly. That's what it is. 438. So in abacus, we don't need to write it out because it's already on the abacus. We don't need to keep track of our digits because we already do that here. Yeah. I still laugh at it. I don't know why. There was one time we went to a paintball field, and somebody asked what time it was, and the guy said it's 4:20, and I started laughing, and he was laughing because I was laughing, and my husband wasn't. Anyways, I'm not a pothead, but it's just funny. Okay. So that's the difference between new math. New math, they have to write it out because they're writing stuff out, as opposed to abacus. We don't need to write it out. So in abacus, we just put the numbers on the abacus, and it does it for us. And that's it. So that is multiplication. We can do another one. Let's do another one. So we have 98 times that by 3. Oh yeah, I was just about to do it. So we count again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So the first thing we're going to do, and I'm just going to stay with abacus math. Are you able to visualize the abacus in your head? Then doing, sometimes I can think about it. Have you seen those kids that do it on their fingers? I've seen them do abacus math on their fingers. I don't quite understand it. I'm not, yeah. It's an interesting idea because I know they count like the segments of their fingers. That's close to what I was referring to. Oh yeah. Oh, finger abacus is different than abacus. I'm very well, hello. How are you doing? I'm so happy you're here. I was just wondering about that. I was wondering if this is the same hello, you know? Yeah, the finger abacus is different than the mentally thinking this sort of abacus. There's this one woman, she is the human calculator, and she was doing calculations she was competing against Bill Gates, who had a calculator. She does abacus math. She does this sort of abacus. and that's what she mentioned. I think she's like 20 something. I think she's 20 something now, but she did abacus. Yeah, I'm here for another time. um, she does this sort of abacus. I don't know what else I mean, she's rolling in money now because she's so popular with her mental calculation. But she probably spent a lot of time going through this day in and day out. This is not to be that quick and to be that fast. It takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of practice. So here we're doing 3 times 9. 3 times 9 is 27. So we're going to add 20 and we're going to add 7. I move my finger over here because this is the last column that I touched. So I'm going to move over here. Now the next one I'm going to do is 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24. I wish I could be helpful in calculus. Abacus is the gateway to complex math. So if you really have a solid foundation, then you'll be fine in calculus and all the others. But that's what abacus does. Abacus really solidifies fundamental arithmetic. So then we have 24 plus 2 and then plus 4. So then my answer is 294. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. 294. I don't even know how to say your name because you're just eyes. Oh my God. Thank you. Yeah. You're welcome. Eyes. That's all I could say. Eyes. Wait, I did 244. 7. When we did the 7, we have 27. Did I do it wrong? 27. Oh, 27. And then, because I'm here, I add another 20. And then I add the 4. JK. I don't know what you said, Carlos. About the giggling? I assume you have a multiplication memorized. Yes, you're absolutely right, Hollow. You have to memorize the multiplication table. And it's just easier because understanding your multiplication table, it will really translate it very well to what? You were joking? About what? Giggling? That's perfectly fine. There was no harm in that. Okay. Yeah, no. I think it was funny. Like, but I'm not a pothead. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Okay. Yeah, so there's the 7 and then there's the 5. Yeah. Sometimes we forget that there's a 5 and that's why sometimes it's just taking a look at it. Like that's the other thing is it also depends on the your view. Like it's a little bit further away from me, so sometimes I don't see it and I have to like kind of hover over it. Usually the abacus is like really close to you, right? And so you could see it. So if you're nearsighted, it works very well. Okay. This is interesting. I'm pretty bad at math. I'm wondering if this could give me another chance to understand. Yes, I honestly think it does really solidify your number sense if you can understand the abacus. And I do believe, I mean, it's helped me. I think I'm stronger in my numbers. I still don't know like huge numbers, but I can see a number, I can kind of work it out. So you added 24. Can you show another example where you wouldn't have enough beads? Yeah. So when I don't have enough beads means that we're going to start utilizing the making of a 5 or making of a 10. That's not a problem. We'll take it slow. I just gotta find a question. Let's go over here. Okay, we'll do 4 times. Let's see if I have enough room. All right, we'll do 4. 758 times that by 4. Oh, thank you, Carlos. Thank you. I appreciate that. No, I do. I really do. I do feel that I try my best to, as long as there's no just, yeah, I'm just going back like earlier today. somebody was like, this is too confusing, I'm done. I'm like, all right, you do you. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're not willing to open up to understand something different, then that's fine. And then they're like, well, I have this disability. I'm like, okay, but your disability is that you're not open to it. That's how I see it. Because there's a lot of people. I've had students, and I'll go into this. I've had students that are on the spectrum, and they really understood math. They understood math through the abacus way. There's this other person that had dyscalculia, and he said that he understood it, and it made sense to him. And so I don't see the cons of understanding how to use the abacus. I do see a lot. Obviously, I do see the benefits. That's why I'm talking about it. But I don't see. You would really have to be open minded to something new in order to absorb the information. But that's just like life, right? Just if you're open to anything, then you'll be open to understanding how things can be simpler in a different way. So thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So we're going to do 3, right? We've counted our digits. We know how to count our digits. Why? Because we need to know where we're going to put our answer. 1, 2, 3, 4. As we look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to start at the thousands. When I started, I counted this as my ones, and then I counted 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to go from outside in. So 4 times 7 is equal to 24. Scrolling through. I think you were here before. All right, 28. So I'm going to put my finger here. Now I'm going to do 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is equal to 20. That was not a good 20, so that's 20. Now what do? I'm going to put 20 here. I don't have enough. One of the things we need to understand is, can we add a 5? That's one of the things that we need to understand. Can we add a 5? No, we can't because we're already using it. So what's the next one? Well, if we remember how to add 2, I have this little doohickey. This is plus the 10 minus the 8. Why do we do that? Because 2 and 8 are partners. They're friends. They are pairs. So to make a 10, and this is a plus 2. I want to add the 2. I need to plus the 10. That's our carry over. We're going to plus the 10 is our carry over. So I'm going to move my finger, plus the 10. That's the carrying over. So I add the 10, and then I take away the 8. Take away the 8 is still over here. This is 10. This is 8. So I'm going to take away 8 like that. And then don't forget, I have a 0 because we did the 20. So I was here. I need to go here. This is my 20. So after 20, right, 4 times 5, I have 4 times 8. Oh, 4 times 8 is 32. 32. So I add my 3, and then I add my 2. So what is my answer? What is my answer? Can we see that? $3,000. Yes, thank you. Yes. Oh, just Diva. Almost. Yes, Hollow and Kaylee. Just the Diva. We don't have a 3 here. So it's 3032. Yes. Makes sense? So one thing is we jumped. Okay, just there's a little caveat. We jumped from understanding our adding and subtracting to straight into multiplication. So there are things that we're missing in our tool belt. We need to understand. Oh, good. Hey, Sejin. Right. So in our tool belt, we need to understand how to plus the 10. That's why I made this little doohickey. And then we need to understand how to plus the 5. And it's the same thing with minus the 5. So this is minus the 10, and then this is minus the 5. So we need to understand this because there's a lot of addition and subtraction that happens here. Hello, hello, Sejin. I'm hoping I'm saying these names correctly. It is a little difficult to go one way and not hear it. Hello. Okay. So anybody have any questions? I'm just cutting. Just cutting. I just want to finish this because I started it and it was just like, oh, I have one more. Sagen. Okay, Sagen. I will remember that. Thank you so much for correcting me. I appreciate that. Sagen. Is there any questions? How are we doing? We're understanding? Thank you. No, thank you. Okay, you started with the beads in the thousands place. Aren't there cases where you might have to start with the 10,000? Yeah, that just means I would have more digits. So that's a very good question. And so what would that mean? Well, let me finish my cutting. And then we go into it. Okay. So yes, you're absolutely right. If I had another number, we would start there. So if I had 758 times that by 43, then we'd be starting at the tens because it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would not do it on this abacus. Now I would graduate to this bigger abacus. But if you're starting and it's for you, I would start at the 13 column because there's no point for you to go to the small column to a bigger column unless you like the colors. There is a 13 column colorful one. There is, but I think the colors are a little bit too much when you start getting into the bigger numbers. But yeah, with the 10,000 place, that's where I would be. And then let's say we have more numbers. And that's very common in Abacus that the numbers starts to grow. And as the numbers grow, and then there's decimals, right, in here as well, then you start utilizing more of the columns that's on the Abacus. So it just depends on how far you want to strengthen your arithmetic skill. But again, it's a lot about like, how solid do you want to be, and then how solid do you want to be. I mean, you can only do so much, right? Like you can only do so much Sudoku and then it gets boring. It's the same way. This is just right now, it's about solidifying or filling the gaps of fundamental math. That's what it is. It's filling the gaps of fundamental math. And I know I had some discrepancies, and because I'm going through Abacus and I taught my kids how to do Abacus, it's a little bit more solid. But understanding like huge numbers is still difficult for me. I mean, it's still not like a million. Like, what's $1 million? I don't know what I'd do with $1 million. You know what I mean? So, big numbers is still very, very abstract for me. But if you tell me what 2 is, I know what 2 is, because we do 2 all the time. So, hello. Oh, so just a diva. Did that make sense? Are you okay? Did you have any questions? I'm not picking on you. I'm just wondering. We've been a little quiet and I want to make sure that we're okay. And Carlos is just laughing at me. I have a lot of like quirky like things that like run through my head, like Pokemon, and I choose you. Somebody said that was the greatest thing. But my boys, I have 3 boys. They liked Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, and we did the competition with the cards and stuff. It was great. But now they're big and stinky. I miss them. I miss them when they were small. I like them when they were small, even though, anyways. Okay, so let's see. For those just joined is a cutting tutorial. Yes, this is my cutting tutorial. And then folding. I was doing folding as well. Yeah. I said that a crazy way, but I can't show what I'm trying to say. You can't show it? We can do more crafts. But yeah, this is the little thing that I thought that was kind of cool. I'm not sure what you were talking about, Eyes. Are you asking to come on? What's the benefit of using an abacus? The benefit of using an abacus, Parker, is to solidify your number sense and to have number fluency. Usually it's usually the benefits are for young kids or for old adults. Why would I say that? Because you know how we do Sudoku? It's like brain gymnastics. And so when we do brain gymnastics, it's interesting. Like we do, what do you call it? Crossword puzzles and word searches. And so I was actually in the process of thinking about how to make more adult workbooks for Abacus because I want to. It's just brain gymnastics. It solidifies a lot of things like number fluency. You know, there's all this talk about number fluency and number sense and solidifying knowing whatever we're doing with numbers. And I think that Abacus helps because it's a concrete item. It's easier to see what's going on and it's more compact, it's more formed as opposed to using pictures. So in school we do a lot of pictures like this is a 10 frame or this is a 5 frame, and if you color in these, how many is done? And so the difference is, even from a picture is still a little bit difficult to translate the physicalness of it. Thank you so much for this. I definitely have my notification on the future, but I gotta go. Oh yeah, not a worry. No worry, guys. I'm here. I'm here often. And if you have any questions, let me know. Yes. Oh really, Franco, adult workbooks? I've been practicing more on the Abacus. Oh, okay. I was thinking I was going to publish out what I have on my website, like so you can download the PDF. But right now I just have it where you have bead recognition. I've been selfish and not been implementing any of the word the questions because I'm honestly not to lie, I'm a little afraid. I'm a little afraid to publish, and I don't know why. That's like a mental thing. The top bead is always going to be 5. My abacus has 2 beads on the top row, yours doesn't, and I don't understand. Oh, the reason why is because you have a Chinese abacus. So the top row, Parker, is 5. When we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and as we count, we know that any time that the beads are touching the horizontal bar, this is the horizontal bar, this is considered 4, because these are touching. None of these are touching, so these are 0. So when we look at it, we want to do 5. The top bead will always be 5. So because the top bead is 5, we can now start adding our bottom beads. So now we have 6, 7, 8, and then 9. And then after 9, we have 10. 10, 11, 12, 13. Then here we can talk about place value. So here is my place value chart because I got tired of writing. So I'm trying to use more other things. So this is my ones, this is my tens, my hundreds, my thousands, and my 10,000s. And then it goes further, but this happens to be a bigger abacus. I usually use this one because it's cute. Okay, so yes, so Tim, yours is a Chinese abacus. And your Chinese abacus has 2 beads on top, which is 5. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is a Japanese abacus because what do Japanese people do is they make everything efficient. So what happens is I can do 5 and that will always be 5. However, on the Chinese abacus, because we're a little redundant and we repeat ourselves a lot, this is 5. This is also 5. However, 6 is still the same. So that's 6 and that's 6 on the Japanese abacus. So we have 7, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is where it becomes a little bit, I don't know how you say it, like a little confusing. Why? Because after 10, if you notice, now this is not utilizing the place value. It's not logical to me. It has no sense. It doesn't make sense to me why we're using this as our tens place. This will always be 10 no matter what. So when we look at it, this is 10. This is now 10. So we just changed this column from ones to tens all of a sudden because it wanted to. And so that's the thing. So now there's 3 things to do this. This is a 10, this is a 10, or this is a 10. This makes sense because now we're utilizing the place values like they're supposed to. But the problem comes when I say this is 10, how much is that? That is now 20. So now I have to really think about it. Or you have to move this to make it 20, right? So that's the thing. Like I had to really think about it. It's a lot of extra It's a lot of extra movements that happen when you have it on the Chinese abacus. If you wanted to use the Chinese abacus like a Japanese abacus, you would just need to use the middle part. And you would ignore the very top and the very bottom. You could do that too. Or you could learn how to use the Chinese abacus. I don't teach Chinese abacus. I teach Japanese abacus. Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting how they do things. And so, again, if I did this, right? If I did this, this is 10. If I did this, this is 110. If I did this, this is 1110. So it's a little bit confusing. So I would have to remember that if this is 10, I have to move this. And then because it's this, I have to move this. So it's either I have to remember or I have to move it. So it's just extra work, extra steps that we don't need. Whereas on the abacus, this is 10, this is 100, and this is always going to be 1,000 no matter what. No matter what. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Right? It all depends on your indicator. If your indicator's here, then we're in the decimals. 1.011. So, and that's the thing. Just the diva, are you okay? Carlos, any questions? Okay, so 4, how did you get about it? Did you do, I'm sorry. How did you go about it? Did you have to know 4 times is 31 for example, previous example? No. So what I did is I broke it up. So what Abacus does, Abacus breaks it down into manageable chunks. So what we do is we actually just go one at a time. So let's do it again. You want to do it again? We could do it again. We could do it again. I have school tomorrow. Hello. Oh, okay. Hello. Have a good night. I'll see you next time. Binary Japanese would be 1 bead per bar. Okay. Okay. That's very high level for me. I wouldn't know I wouldn't know that. Okay, so let's do 758 times that by 43. So is 700 for the previous example? Do you know? Do you have to know? No, you don't have to know. What you need to know is your multiplication. That's all you need to know. So here we're only doing 7 times 4. That's all we want to do. We want to keep it manageable. We only want to know what this is. So when we know what this is, then we know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 5. Sorry. I should have done this one. That's why I was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now this is 28. Because this is 28, I know I'm going to add the 2 here and add the 8 here. But I don't need to know 43, if that makes sense. Because now that's too big. That's really big. If I did this in new math, I would have to do 40 times 700. And then it's 2080, and then it gets really overwhelming. So now we're done with the 7. What are we going to do? Now we're going to do 4 times 5. So 4 times 5 is equal to 20. So again, I'm adding my 20 plus the 10 minus the 8, and then I add my 0, and then I do it again. 4 times 8. So when I do that, 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 8 is 32. So I don't need to know 32. I don't need to know. Yes, thank you, Parker. Yeah, I did. I ran out of room. But that's what new math is. New math is about adding in the extra zeros, which Abacus we don't need to, because we don't have a multiplication table that says 4 times 50 is equal to 200. Right? We don't have that multiplication. What we have is 4 times 5 is 20. And so Abacus makes it into manageable chunks. Now we're done. We're going to not look at that anymore. Yes, Abacus it does seem simpler. And I think it's because we could see the numbers and we understand how to utilize it. So now when we redo it, we're going to redo and we're going to recount this. I should change color. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm at the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that make sense? So now I go back again and I just times it all out. So 3 times 7, 3 times 7 is 21. I only need to know to add 20, and I need to add 1. So it's about the journey, right? It's about the add-ins. And we're very focused on the add-ins, we're very focused on the add-ins and not the result. So when we get to the bigger numbers, it makes more sense to focus on the add-ins, not the result. Okay, so now we have 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15. So here I want to add 1 and I add my 5. I add 1. There's not enough beads to add the 1. So what do? Plus the 1 is plus the 5 minus the 4. So I plus the 1 plus the 5 minus the 4. And then I add my 5. So now my next one is 3 times 8. 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is 27? No, 24. 24. So I add my 20. I add my 4. So my final answer is 32,594. Did that make sense, Carlos? Yeah. Yeah. So it's fine that you said 700 times 34, but it's all about breaking up into smaller chunks. Yes. Yeah. Do you have another question? And again, it goes back to we really need to solidify our adding and subtracting. When that comes solid, then everything is golden. Because why? Because there are other steps in multiplication. So if you have a single digit, if you have a single digit, you have to go back one column. So there's a little bit more steps that gets involved when we do multiplication. But it gets more hairy when we do division. Division gets more, it's a little bit more cumbersome if you're not solid in it. That's why I don't do division as much. We can, it's not a problem. I mean, I can do it. But division gets a little bit overwhelming, even because this is still a beginner, right? We're still doing beginning stuff. If you notice, we didn't touch anything like, we didn't do too many two-step equations. So let's say like another two-step equation, this one, 49 plus 5. How is that a two-step equation? Well, this is a two-step equation because we do 40 and we do 9. Well, notice when we do 5, we don't have enough beads. What do? We know that when we add the 5, we have to plus the 10 minus the 5. But the problem is, now, if I don't have enough beads to plus the 5, if I don't have enough beads to plus the 10, what do? Now we're at the two-step equation. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's more to adding than what we think. Like, there's a lot more to adding. It just, but we take it for granted. We take it for granted. But in school, they're saying, okay, well, what you could do here is make a 50. You could make a 50, right? And then you would take away the 4, and then it just seems more. It's a 6-7 kind of thing. It depends on what the numbers are, and it depends on what strategies you know. So with this one, it would be easier to make this 50, and bring this down to 40. So then you have 54. Whereas in Abacus, if you're like strictly going to Abacus, it would be plus the 10 minus the 5. So I plus the 10 because I know, plus the 5 minus the 4, and then minus the 5. So it depends. It depends. Whatever strategy gets you the quickest and whatever you're most comfortable with. Again, Abacus is not the end all, but it does fill in a lot more gaps than I think the other math strategies. That's my theory. Oh my God, Audrey. Welcome, Audrey. Hello, David. Adamaris, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much for liking my live, Audrey. You should be in bed. You should be sleeping. We're not midnight mathing. I came on earlier. I came on earlier to see if I can catch everybody before they all go to bed. Because we'd be doing this till like 3 in the morning. And I'm like, you guys are mathing in the middle of the night. This is crazy. I mean, like now, there's this one person that was like, it was like 1 in the morning for her. I'm like, I don't know why you're mathing in the middle of the night. You guys are crazy. Those people, yeah, you're on the East Coast. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, was the 5-digit where we I'm sorry. Was 5 digits. Can we start with 3-digit division? Yeah, yeah, you want to do 3-digit division? We could do division. We can do division. Okay, this one. 3, 19, 9, 18. Dandelion, can you do 15, 20 plus 36? Yes. So 15, 1, 5. And then I would use my abacus. I would use my abacus to write the numbers. I wouldn't, yeah. So plus 20. Oh, hold please. I need to verify that I'm still here. Okay. So 15 plus 20, and then plus 36, plus 3, plus 6, plus 3, plus the 3 is equal to plus 5 minus 2, plus 5 minus 2. And now I need to plus the 6. Plus 6 is your two-step equation. How do I know? Because I want to add the 4. Plus 6 is equal to plus the 10 minus 4. So I'm plussing the 10, but now I need to take away the 4. How do I take away the 4, Dandelion? How do I take away this 4? If I have a 5, I can take away, right? So, how do I take away 4? Take away, yeah, exactly, Carlos. Take away the 5 and add the 1. Yes, yes, exactly. So we write it minus the 5 plus the 1. That's how we would write it. By chance, you are Korean. No, I get that a lot. I don't know why. I think it's because I have a chiseled chin. But no, I'm not Korean. I'm Chinese. I'm full Chinese. I'm a little Chinese and a little bit special because I'm on the abacus. Okay, sorry. Okay, this one's driving me nuts. I'm really starting to understand the whole process. It is a process. It is a process, and it's a lot about just going through it one at a time. So what is my answer? My answer is 71. Yeah. But remember me. I do remember you, Hale Odyssey. Oh my God, you say those things about Chinese one, the brave one. I'm not here to. I just it's all about fun. I love comedians. I love how they just kind of bring everything up a bit, and I love it. Hello, Bita. Because I know what the answer is, I'm trying to make it. Oh yeah, see that's the thing. Because when we're in school, we always teach what the focus is, what the answer is, and the biggest thing is understand what you're trying to do. So take it one step back. So Abacus breaks it down into manageable chunks. Can we do? Okay, let's do that. Okay, I think it was Kim. We're gonna have to put this on hold for a little bit. 27 minus 15.1 plus 71. My dad always says that's the only calculator you need. What, your brain or the abacus? I don't know. I mean, I use a calculator. I still use a calculator. I don't use my abacus because I don't have it all the time. Both. Yeah. I mean, as long as you have your brain. But this is my this is my brain on abacus. Okay. I'm just showing my age right there now. All right. So 27, right? I have 27 Yeah. And then I have minus 15. That's easy. Take away 1, take away 5. Right, Audrey? Yeah. There was a few I had like, this is my brain on Abacus, and Abacus is the gateway to complex math. I told this to one of my friends, and she just completely lost it because that's what we remember. Oh, this one's easy. User 3975. This is like too easy. Why? Because it's 70, and then we had the 1. That's it. That's. Psh, I'm done. That's an easy one. Was this a question that I did? So the answer is 83. That was too, right, Carlos? Right? Yeah, it's too easy. Because now we've graduated to understanding um, the plus the 5 and minus the 5. It gets more hairy when you have to do two-step equations. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of like little things that pop in my head, and I just kind of talk about it. My kids think I'm a little corny. Yeah, and that's the other thing is like, how come there's always dad jokes, but there's no mom jokes? And I think it's because women don't joke, which is sad. But I do understand, there's not too many female comedians, but there are now. There's a few now, but there's still not as many as men, which is interesting. But yeah, that was easy. Okay, yeah. So we're back to here. Division. What we're going to do is we're going to find our starting point, and I have my little labels because I got tired of writing. Guys have more carefree, maybe. It could be that there's more carefree, or they have more thick skin, or it's just the delivery of men talking, I think, is different than women delivery. I think women delivering is a little, there might be more emotion behind it, could be. I'm not sure. I feel like the female comedians now are getting better, but I think back in the day, like I honestly I didn't like Sandra Oh. I didn't think she was funny at all because she kept no, was it Sandra? No, not Sandra Oh, the other one. She kept screaming, and I'm like, stop screaming. It just doesn't make sense. I think some women have like kind of knickknack, like little things that they do that kind of irritates me. Anyways, dividend and divisor. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our dividend and we're going to count it. So in Abacus, in multiplication, we added our digits. What we can do, I hear you. Yeah. I mean, I do like I'm starting to like some female ones, like Angelica. She's really funny, and she knows how to really whip out a good I think her name is Angelica Jones, and she knows how to really whip out a Vietnamese accent. It was really good. And then there's this Welsh comedian. I really like her too. Margaret Cho. Yes. She would always like. It was really annoying, and I was like, I don't. And that was back in the day, right? I mean, that was like what 30 years ago. But now there's a lot more. There's better now. I remember like there was like a few other comedians that was going really into sex, and I'm like, just because you're a woman, you don't have to always talk about sex. Anyways, I'm going off topic. So in division, what we do is we need to minus our question, because in multiplication we added. So now we have to take away. What we're going to do is we're going to count our digits. There's 3 dividend digits. So there's 3 dividend digits, and then there's only 1 divisor digit. So 3 take away 1 is 2. So what's going to happen is I'm going to count to 2, because that's where my answer is going to go. 1, 2. My answer is going to sit here. Because my answer is here, I'm going to put my dividend on the abacus. So just like I'm subtracting on the abacus. That's what it is. I'm Amy Schumer's biggest hater. Amy Schumer, she's okay. She's okay. She's not. I wouldn't. I wouldn't binge watch her. Yeah, I could see it. I'm not. I'm not a hater, but I wouldn't go out to see her. You know who I liked is Kate. Kate. Oh my gosh, I forgot her name. Kate, Matt. It starts with M, and she hangs out with Ron White, and I forget. Anyways, so we're gonna put our answer. We're gonna put our dividends here. 918. McKinnon? I don't think it was McKinnon. I gotta look it up now. It wasn't McKinnon. I followed her often too, and she was just yeah, she was with the white collar guys. So it was like Jeff Foxworthy, Bill Engvall, Ron White, you know that, and like who is it? Mater, what's his name? Kate, Mag. No, I don't know. And now I gotta look it up now. Ron White, Kate. Oh, Madigan. Kathleen Madigan. That's what it was. Kathleen Madigan. I really like her. She's really funny. And she talks about, politics and, yeah. She's old though. She's like old school, like Ron White old school. Yeah. Kate Madigan. Kathleen Madigan. That's what it was. So what are we going to do is we're going to compare. Yeah, she's funny. Yeah. See, that's the type. And then, I kind of really like is Eddie Izzard. I like her old stuff when she was, yeah, Eddie Izzard. Anyways, okay. So what we're going to do is we got to compare. Now the difference is understanding what we're trying to do. In Abacus, we have a conversation with our numbers. We have S, which is our divisor, and we will have our E. What we need to do is we need to compare our one digit. We're only going to compare this one digit. When we compare, we need to understand if we're going to do two digits or one digit. If the 3 is S, right? Divisor. 9 is the dividend. 9 is bigger, so we only need to use one digit. We only need to use the 9. So when I look at my question, 3 times what is equal to 9 or less. Now the reason why we do it this way, because it's easier for us to understand our multiplication table, right? We don't really say we don't really have a division table that we were never forced to memorize our division table. So we never really remember 9 divided by 3 is 3. What we do remember is 3 times what is equal to 9. So there's a little bit of a nuance on that. So yes, thank you, Beta. So 3. So I'm going to add my 3 to my abacus. This is my answer. I'm going to add 3 to my answer. Now what I'm going to do, because 3 times 3 is 9, I have to take away the 9. When I take away the 9, I'm going to remove it from my abacus. So I take away 9. Take away 1, take away 9. Sorry. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare 1 and 3. I am not going to compare 3 and 18 because I only need to know what the one digit is. Knowing this one digit, 3 and 1, which one is bigger? I know that this is bigger because my divisor is bigger. I know I will be using 2 digits only because my divisor is bigger. So now my question is 3 times what is equal to 18 or less? 3 times 6 is take away 18. Take away 1, take away 8. So my answer is 36. Did that make sense? Hi everybody, welcome. Whew. Yes. Okay, yeah. So a lot of it is understanding this conversation. We do when we have a conversation, we're only comparing the two digits. We only compare this digit and this digit, or we compare this digit to this digit. We don't look at anything else. So again, what Abacus does is it breaks it down into manageable chunks. Thank you so much for the likes. We only need to look at the manageable chunks. I don't know if Dandelion is still here, but I know it's been a little bit But that's the one thing that Abacus does. Do we have to know that the 0 is there? No. No, we don't. Because this is my 1s, this is my 10s. The 0 would be here. You could do decimal, but it doesn't matter. Isn't the answer 306? No, the answer is not 306. The answer is, oh, I'm sorry. The answer is 3, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, you know what? I did it wrong. I was supposed to be over here. It was supposed to be 360. Because I forgot the 9 is bigger, so I have to skip one column, eat one column. It's 360. 360? No, 306. You're right. Sorry. 0. Sorry. So what we're going to do, let me redo it. So we have 9, 18. So we're going to have our 3. Oh, this is what the problem was. The problem was because my 3 is bigger than my 9. Because my 9 is bigger than my 3, I have to skip one column. That's what it was. I have to skip one column and eat one column. So that was the thing. That's a lot of steps. I don't blame you. Yeah. So that's what it was. If the dividend is bigger, then I have to skip one column. I go here. So thank you, iHeart ICL. Yes. So what's going to happen is because my dividend is bigger, I have to skip one column. I have to skip this column and only take this one column. So then I put my 3 here and take away 9. Yes, and that's what it is. So then we have 18, right? Put our 6. Yes, that's what it is. Yeah, thank you so much. That's what it is. Because I forgot, when we do this, we have to only eat one, skip one. Skip one. And that, again, that's a rule. That's a rule that Abacus has in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that. We can do another one. Maybe we'll do another one. Yeah? Hi, Jasmine. How's it going? Oh, okay. So we'll do this one. 3 divided by 6, 15. I'm watching, but when I practice on my own, I'm still doing addition. Okay, not a problem. So again, we're going to count our digits. We have 3 dividends, and we have 1 divisor. So 3 take away 1 is equal to 2. 1, 2. And now we're going to put our dividend 6, 1, 5. We're going to compare. We have 3 and 6. Again, our dividend is bigger. Because our dividend is bigger, we have to skip 1, eat 1. So I'm skipping this column. I go here. I'm only going to take this column. That's what I'm doing. So 3 times what is equal to 6 or less? 3 times 2. So I add my 2 and I take away 6. And now I compare again. 1 or 3? 1 or 3? 1 is my dividend. 3 is my divisor. 3 is bigger, so I need to go here. There's no more skipping, right? So the question is 3 times what is equal to 15 or less? 3 times 5. There we go. And then we take away 1, we take away 5. So the answer is 205. 205. Yeah, that was better. Whew. All right. So, for those of you who just joined, I'm not sure if you know how to read the abacus. What we're going to do is we're going to read the abacus. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Anytime the beads are touching this horizontal bar, we're going to count it. And then this is the horizontal bar. After 4 is 5. All the top beads has a value of 5. So this is 5, this is 5, this is 5, this is 5, and then this is 5. So when we look at it, we have 5, and then we can count 6. Can you do one with decimal with the answer? Yeah, we could do one with the decimal. That's not a problem. Hey, Bapple, welcome. Thank you so much for liking my live. So let me finish counting. So we have 6, and then 7, 8, 9, and then this is 10. So after 10, we have 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15. And then after 15, we can say 25, after 35, and then 45. We could do 545, 645, or we can do 7,645. So all those new people that just came in, we're okay with counting and understanding how to read the abacus. And Jasmine wants to jump the class ahead to decimals. Okay, so we're going to add with decimals. Are we adding with decimals? I always wondered how to use these. Hi, Yvonne. Yes. Let me know if you have any questions. I've been kind of sitting here for a little bit, so that's why we've been going through a little bit. But let me know if you have any questions, if you want to count some more or understand how to do. So if I had this number, what number do you think that is? Thanks, this is so cool. Oh yeah, you're welcome. What number do you think that is? Let me move my stuff. Okay, so user, hey Sai, yes. So it's 5,381. Yes, exactly. Oh yes, thank you, Raccoon and Robert. Hey Robert, welcome back. You guys. All right, user 153. I don't have your name, but yes, the 10 looks like this. That's all that 10 is, because we have 9. This is 9, and then this is 10. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15. After 15, we have 16, right? How do we know? Because this is the ones, this is the ones, this is the tens. Just as we write in our, just as we write our numbers, we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, and our thousands. Robert, you know Robert, Audrey? I know Robert. Robert's been kind of funny. And do you get a McDon? I don't know if you get a McDon. He's funny too. There was one time I was doing some abacus, and the husband called because he was grocery shopping and asked me for some coupons. And I'm like, oh my God, hold on, please. Just from your lives. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Let me know if you have any more questions. But it's been interesting, like going down this path. So when we look at it, I mean, then we have our decimals. So that's what someone was asking about decimals. So this is my decimals. If I have my ones, this is my decimals. Tenths and hundredths. And again, it doesn't matter which dot you choose. You just got to choose one. You could choose this one to be your ones. If you do that, then everything shifts over like that. And then you have decimals. These will all be your decimals. Make sense? So it'd be 1.242. So that would be what if this was a decimal. Okay. So what is the name of this tool? This is an abacus. This is what we call an abacus. This is also called a Japanese soroban. So it's called soroban. There's a Chinese one, and that's called a xuanpan. I don't know if I said that right. I don't have a good accent. My mom keeps teasing me, saying I have a very white accent when I talk Chinese, so I never talk Chinese. But in this one is a soroban. Can I do a multiplication on it? Yes, we can do multiplication on it. We did a few questions on multiplication. There was one we could do. We could do this one. But the thing is the big thing is we need to know our multiplication fact, because abacus doesn't really necessarily show how to do multiplication, what we do is we use the abacus to track the numbers. So we have, we can do a question. Okay, we'll do this one. We'll do something easy. Fives are usually pretty easy, right? So, whoa, I have too many abacus. Okay. Thank you for sharing my live, Mimi. Okay. Okay, we'll do this one. 571 times that by 4. So here, hello, Melinda. I was wondering if that was you, but I wasn't sure because I just saw the numbers and I didn't see your picture. But anyways, number 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to understand where we're going to put our answer. The reason why is because we need to know where, like a ballpark, where the answers go. So we know we're going to go to the fourth column. What is that? That's the thousands. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to start at the thousands. The first thing we're going to do is when we do multiplication, we always go from the outside in. So we go left first. We need to go left to go right. I don't know if you guys know that. That's Cars. And it was when Lightning McQueen and Doc Hudson were talking. We got to go left to go right. That's the same thing. We got to go left to go right. 4 times 5 is 20. So I add 2 and I add 0. Right? Okay. So then the next thing I'm going to do 4 times 7. Again, I'm only focusing on the one number. I'm not focusing on anything else. Abacus breaks it down into manageable chunks. So I go 4 times 7 is equal to 28. So I add 20 and then I add 8. I'm here. Now I do 4 times 1. This one and then this one. 4 times 1 is a single digit. 4 is a single digit. When 4 is a single digit, we will have to pretend that there is a leading 0. So it would look like this. Just like when we tell time, it's 1:04 a.m. in the morning or it's 2:03 p.m. in the afternoon. See how there's an O there? There's a 0. It's kind of the same thing. So this would be a 0 and then this would be 4. So my answer is, what's my answer? Yes. Yes, makes sense. Good. Fantastic. That's all correct. Thank you. Thank you, Melinda. Robert, I heart my CL. I only see user 153. And Jasmine and Dandelion. Yes, thank you. So the answer is 2284. Yeah. So you can do multiplication on it. What it really means is, can you use the abacus to track your numbers? And yes, you can. And that's the biggest thing. That's the only thing. The only thing is abacus helps you track the numbers. And it all depends on how you calculate it in your head. Abacus, there's a little bit of restriction. That's why we add like formulas. But the formulas help to comprehend. Do we have any more questions? Thank you so much, Yvonne, for the rows. Why did you start in the second column? Because this is my indicator. This indicator helps me keep track of the ones column. So when I look at it, I can start here or I can start here. But because I know I was going to have 4 columns, I started on this one. So this is my ones, and when we count, it goes to the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and then 10,000. It's only because I have an indicator, and that indicator helps me keep track. That's it. If it was somewhere else, then I just use a different indicator. So like This one is a 13 column one. I can use any indicator as my ones. It doesn't matter. It is completely up to you. Just like your perspective of life, just like where you want to go, right? Like, I like California, so I live in California. Would I want to go back to Canada? Yeah, I do enjoy the winter. But it's all about using, whatever your indicators are, your home is. Does that make sense, P? Can you solve? Let's see. We'll do this color. 43 times that by 75. I don't know. It might be easy. Hopefully, it's got some calculations that we need to do. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand our starting point. So our starting point is 4. How do I know? Because I counted 1, 2, 3, 4. So now, 1, 2, 3, 4. I do left first. 7 times 4 is 28. So I add 20 and then my 8. And then I do 7 times 3. 7 times 3 is 21. So this is a little tricky. Why? Because I have to understand how to add 2. I don't have enough beads to add 2. So what do? I don't use my 5 because I already have a 5, right? This is a formula that we need to do. What if starting point looks like 4, but the answer has only 3 numbers? That's because the single digits will help it go into 3 numbers. But that's why there's that rule. If it's a single digit, you go back 1 column. So I want to add the 2. Did that make sense? I want to add the 2. So it's plus the 10 minus the 8. So I'm going to plus the 10 minus the 8. So yeah, we can work on a question like that, ACL. And then plus the 1. So I'm done with the 7. I don't need to look at it anymore. So what happens is I'm going to recount the remaining digits. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I go here and I go 5 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. I add 2 and don't forget the 0. Now I do 5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 3 is 15. So I do 1 and I do 5. So what is my answer? Let me see if I can find a question. And there's not too many questions that are like that. 3, 2, 2, 5. Yes, 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 that's what it is. Great. So the question is, if I had 4 digits, I don't have a question. It would be bigger. I'm trying to find a question to explain the... Okay. Oh, this is what it'd be. Okay. I'm just trying to look for something. Okay. So the question is, how do you divide with this? Okay, Stephen, let me get to this one first and then I'll get to that one. The bead is 5 and anything touching the middle bar is counted. Yeah. Okay. So, ACL, here's a question. 3, 12 times that by 3. So this is where we have 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you notice, 3 times 3 is a single digit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 times 3 is a single digit. 3 times 3 is equal to 9. 9's a single digit. I go back 1 column, I add the 9. Then 3 times 1 is 3. So 3 is a single digit. I go back one column, I add 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 is a single digit. I go back one column and I add 6. So that's how you get 4 digits, but 3-digit answer. Did that make sense? So my answer is 936. Thank you for explaining this. That makes sense. Yes. Yes, thank you, Melinda. Yeah. And that's why rules, it just depends on, again, it just depends on all the stuff. Go back one column works. Yeah, I like that go back one column, but I did see somebody that used the 0, 4, and I was like, we could do that too. Yeah. Oh, okay, so dividing. So you want to divide, Stephen. Let's do some division. We'll do some easy one. Let's see if I remember the steps. Okay, 3 divided by 342. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand how our starting point is. So our starting point is we're going to look at our digits. We're going to look at our digits. And multiplication, if you notice, we added our digit. Well, in division, we're going to subtract our digits. So because we're going to subtract our digits, it's our dividend and our divisor. So our dividend has 3 digits and our divisor has 1 digit. So our starting point is 2. So here is 1 and 2. This is where I'm going to put my answer. After the answer is where I'm going to put the dividend. I use my abacus to subtract the dividend, and it helps me keep track of the answer. I have 3, 4, 2. The question now is we need to compare. We have divisor and our dividend. Our divisor is 3, and our dividend is also 3. Who's bigger? Well, they're the same. What do we do now? Now we actually have to go to the next column over. 0, so we have to pretend that there's a 0 here, like always. Anyways, we have to pretend that there's a 0 here. This one has a 4. So 0 and 4, who is bigger? 4 is bigger. Since 4 is bigger, I have to skip one column, eat one column, eat one column. So that means I skip this column, I'm over here. I'm only going to subtract this one column. That's all I'm doing. So the question is 3 times what is equal to 3 or less? Hey, Daisy. So 3 times 1 is equal to 3. I add my 1, and then I take away 3. I take away 3 from my dividend. So I take away my dividend. Now my question is, who is bigger, 3 or 4? Because now I'm only comparing this one column. My one column is 4, yes. So my 4 is bigger. So again, it's skip one column, eat one column. So I skip this column. This is the column I need to skip. And I'm only going to take away this one column. So the question is 3 times what is equal to 4 or less? Three times 1. Thank you, Melinda. 3 times 1 is equal to 3, right? 3 times 1 is equal to 3. So I have to take away 3 from this one column. So I take away 3. Now my final comparison, how do I know? Because I have 3 is my divisor, and my 1 digit is 1. Which one is bigger? My 3 is bigger. Yes. Thank you, Melinda. So because my 3 is bigger, I need to utilize 2 digits or 2 columns. These 2 columns. So the question goes to, what times 3 is equal to 12 or less? Three, is it 12? 12, yeah, 12. 3 times 4, yes. So we add the 4, and then we take away 12. Take away 1, take away 4. So my answer is 114. Yeah. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you, ACL. Make sense? So that's dividing. That's how you divide on the abacus. And it is possible. It's just there's more rules to it. There's more rules to it that I would not typically show beginners. But because the group is small, it's not too bad to go forward. Any other questions? Hey, Jocelyn, thank you for the follow. How about 113 divided by 13? Okay. This is where it's going to get a little hairy because now we're talking about 2 digits. I think I need one more example. The difference between this specific example is because now we're dealing with 2 digits. And if we're dealing with 2 digits, it gets a little crazy. If that's okay, we can do it. Let's see if we can keep up. I'm not sure if there's going to be a decimal either. Okay. Melinda. Okay. 3 divided by 182. Okay. Okay. Let's see how slow I can take it. The first thing we do is we figure out our starting point. There's 3 and 2. 3 take away 2 is 1. Thank you. So we're going to put 1. Oh, that's not enough. I'm going to use the big abacus. Yeah, let's use the big abacus. So 1 is where the answer is going to go. Because the answer is going to go in the first column. Again, remember that the indicator is my ones. This is my ones. I'm going to use this. I'm going to put my dividend onto the abacus. 1, 8, and then 2. All right. Now we compare. What are we comparing? We only compare one digit. Which digit? We're going from left first. So the question is, who is bigger? 1 and 1. They're the same. So what do? We have to go to the next digit, right? So the next digit is 3 and 8. 3 and 8. Which one's bigger? 8 is bigger. Right. 8 is bigger. Because E is bigger, it's still skip 1, eat 1. Excuse me. Eat 1 means take away 1. I use this rhyming because that's what I'm used to. So I'm going to skip this column and I'm over here. I'm going to take 1 column. So this is going to be what times 1 is equal to 1. 1 times 1 is equal to 1. So I put my 1 here and I take away 1. All right. Because I did the 1, now I have to multiply the 3 because it's a pair. 3 times 1 is equal to 3. 3 is a single digit, so I go back 1 column and I take away 3. Are you still with me? Okay, good. Maybe. Okay. Whatever you do to this one, you got to do the same thing to this one. So you eat the previous one. Yeah. So the question was this, right? 1/8. I took away the 1, and then I had to times a 3. Times a 3, 3 is a single digit, so I have to take away the 1. So you just did 13 times 1. I did. Yes. I did. No, I did 13 times 1 is what I did. Okay. We cannot look at this one anymore for the dividend. Why? Because we've done some taking away. So our answer is different. What we're going to do is we're going to compare the 5 to the 1. We only need to compare the 1 digit. This is the 1 digit we need to compare. So 1 and 5, who is bigger? The 5 is bigger. So again, skip 1, eat 1. So I skip this column. I'm going to go here. 1 times what is equal to 5 or less? 1 times 5 is equal to 5. So I take away the 5. Yes, good. Now, whatever I did to the 1, I got to do to the 3. 3 times 5 is equal to 15. I don't have enough. This is where it gets complicated. I take 1 from the answer, which is this. No, yeah. I go back 2 columns and I add. I don't even know how to explain that. I add the dividend. I add the divisor. Is that the eat 1 when you take the 5? Yeah, exactly. Eating 1 means I'm subtracting 5. But this question doesn't zero it out. It would be decimals. We will have decimals here. And we can keep going. But what did I do is, because this is one more thing I have to figure out how to make it more mainstream. I know how to do it, but I don't know how it relates to mainstream. Because now we're at a standstill. What does that mean? Well, 3 times 5 is 15. I'm over here and I need to take away 15. Take away 1, take away 5. I don't have enough to take away the 5. Is the problem that should be clean? It's not a problem for me because I know how to do it. The problem is because you guys are beginners, you'll get confused. There's a formula there's a rule that we do. So we take 1 from the answer and then we go back 2 columns and we add the divisor. That's why I'm a little hesitant with the numbers. So what I do is I have to take 1 from the answer to take 1 from the answer. This is the answer. I have to take 1 from the answer, go back 2 columns, and then I need to add the divisor. So now I have to try it again. 4 times 3, right? How did I get 4? Because my answer is 4, right? So 4 times 3 is equal to 12. So I take away 1, I take away 2. So that was kind of clean, but there's that little hump. I don't know what that's called in mainstream math. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Is it 14? Yeah, it's 14. Yeah, there's a little bit of a hiccup, if you noticed. So this is a great question for beginners, intermediate. This is a great question for the intermediate because when there's not enough, like this. So, okay, so let's go back. You know what? Let's workshop this if that's okay. So here we had 5, right? Because 1 times 5 is 5. 3 times 5 is 15. If 3 times 5 is 15, I want to take the 1 and take the 5. I don't know if there is a mainstream math equivalent for that. because it's 2. So what do we do is 5 is too much. 5 is too much, so we need to take away 1. We got to go down 1 notch. So we got to take away 1, but then the issue is we got to add the divisor. To add the divisor is only the 1. So then we can multiply it out again. 4 times what? 4 times 3 is equal to 12. I'm still marinating on that. I'm still trying to do research on how does mainstream math do that sort of abacus. Does that sort of thing. And I haven't found it yet, because it's that little hiccup when we have to do that. There's a lot more questions like that, and I don't know what it's called in abacus. I don't even know what they call it in abacus. In my school we call it over quotient, but that doesn't make sense. I don't even know if that's a real word, over quotient. But that's the one thing. And so this specific question is really good for intermediates. Is it like carrying over but division? I don't think so. Because we have to take away. Is the mainstream that we have to try to put the whole 13 into another number that you're just putting it in? Oh, I understand that. Makes sense when you use the numbers with the explanation. Bring the 1 in and then the 3. Yeah, we do the 1 first and then we do the 3. The problem is I think in mainstream they do the whole digit. They do 13. Oh, hold on. Not accept. Hi.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Is that we put in the whole 13 and we try to put the 13 into the 18. And you're just putting in 1 digit and then the 1 and then the 1 and then the 3 and then the 3. And
Yeah.
so that is completely different from the way we do it. And so that's what I think is making it hard to understand. But like, I don't know um, a Western, a mainstream way. I've never seen it division done that way
Mainstream math.
in mainstream math. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was looking at too, because I noticed that in mainstream math we take the whole divisor and then we figure
Right.
out how many times can we, and it's fine. But I think in
So
abacus,
can you on paper do it your way? Like on paper,
oh,
like write out long division, but do it your way, but not on the abacus on the paper.
let me see. So 13, I mean, this is a really, Steve, this is a really good question. I really do appreciate this because this is something I still need to work it out. So on paper, what we do is we still compare 1 and 1. Who is bigger, right? So we still do that. E and S. So 1 and 1. So that's not good. So we do 2 and 3. So 3 and 8, right? So that's what we're doing, and we're comparing. Now we do 1. So we know that 8 is bigger, so it's skip 1. Oh, sorry. Skip 1, eat 1.
So then you put the answer on top of the 1 because you skipped the 8, right?
Yeah.
Is the 8 what you
I
skip when you skip 1?
uh maybe
And then you
maybe see the problem now, the problem is we don't know. The problem is I don't know. I have to workshop this out. So if I did 1 times 1 is equal to 1, and then 1 times 3 is equal to 3, so I do the 1, and then I do 8, and then 3. That's what it would look like, and then I have 5. See, this is the abacus way,
yeah.
right? I wouldn't do it together because it's not 1 times 13. It's 1 times 1, and then it's 3 times 1, and then I get 5. Skip putting the answer over the 1. Answer over the 8. Is it over the 8? I don't know. I have to.
Let
Yeah,
somebody
you're
else
right.
come
You're
up
right.
who's smarter than me.
You're right. ACL is right. The answer would be over the 8.
Oh, okay.
So when we skip, I guess we're going this way. Skip putting the 1 over the, yeah, okay. So now we do a comparison. There's a 5 and then there's a 1. So again, my 5 is bigger, so I skip 1, and then I eat 1. So it may be over here. So 5, okay, yeah, so I think ACL's got it. So skip 1 is 5, right? 5. But then my answer is 2. So that's too much. So I have to take away the 4 and then change it. So instead of saying 2 instead of saying 1 times 5, it's 1 times 4. 1 times 4 is this. Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Well,
Does
I'm
that
glad you got it because I don't get it, but I'm
Okay.
glad you got it.
So this is about trial and error. Thank you, Kim. So this is about trial and error. The first thing we do is we first put in 5. 5 is too much. 5 is too much. So we got to take away this one number, right? Wait, I get it. Right, Stephen? So what's going to happen is I need to minus 1 here. Does that make sense? Dandelion?
Yeah, that's like when we try to guess and then it doesn't come out right, so we have to go down a number. Like we
Yes.
do that too.
Okay. So because we did that, now instead of saying, but we have to reassess. We got to go back and
Mm-hmm.
say 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4, not 5. So we have to change this. Instead of saying 5, we have to change this to 4.
Mm-hmm.
So if we change it to 4, 5 take away 4 is 1.
Right.
So we
But then what
bring
about the
down,
3 on the 13?
well, because we have to bring down the 2.
Right.
Because we bring down the 2, anytime, so remember we only did the 1 and the 3, now the 1 and the 4, now we
Mm-hmm.
got to do 3 and 4.
Oh.
We do one at a time, just like I did here, one at a time. So 3 times 4, because 3 is bigger, we have two digits. So we take it as a whole.
Right. And then that gives us 12 and makes it easy. Whoa, that was a good question.
That's a very good
You
question.
know me though. I still need you to do it 20 more times before I get it, but I see it, but I couldn't do it myself.
Yeah, no, I no, it's this is a really good question. I'm glad I got that question. Yeah, this was a really good question because it was this. Yeah, okay, so that's what we do in mainstream math is that we try it, and if it's not good, then we have to reassess. So, but in Abacus, we do
Right,
one
but
step
we
at a
would
time.
just yeah, and I can see why that would be easier because trying to go, let me see how many times does 13 goes into 18 once. Okay, and then you drop it down and then you carry the, I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway, my
yeah,
brain
and
is not working. It's too late for me to be doing math.
it's too. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Everybody that's on, I mean, the 24 people that are here, I see that there's 24. There are 24 people that are here is crazy because we're like mathing in the middle of the night. But it's interesting.
We are
You're
mathing in the middle of the night. We need t-shirts that say that, by the way.
So I appreciate the Stephen. I really appreciate the question because it was one of those things like I couldn't figure out how to work it out. Like how do I explain it? Just as I just, but this is fantastic. Thank you. Midnight mathing, right? Midnight math. Midnight math. I love it. And that was the one thing. I think that's the reason why I go a little bit later because people who are in the middle of the night in Abacus, people in the middle of the night are a little bit more committed. So, but yeah, no, I think this was fantastic, and this was a really good idea, Dandelion. That was a really good idea. Starting this process each time you go live fun. Like you're like you said, workshopping. Yeah. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on board. Cuz it was just one of those things like, huh.
Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. No, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we
All right, I'm gonna go down. I'll be in the comments. I'm gonna come off.
Yeah, oh, no problem. I was just okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I would have to find more questions like this, and then we can workshop it again. There are a lot of questions like this, just so you know. It's just one of those things like I wasn't quite sure how to explain it for beginners because this is more of an intermediate, and then obviously it gets more when there's more digits, so it gets a little bit unruly. But having said that, I do appreciate being able to workshop this out because this made a lot of sense, and now I can actually explain it better. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Whew. That was a good rush. All right. How are we on questions? Are we okay? Are we okay? What's going on? Whew. That was a really good one. All right. I was thinking that it was going to be a decimal, but it was wrong. It was not even a decimal. Honestly, I haven't quite figured out. Hey, Bapple, I haven't quite figured out what two numbers make it something like this. I haven't figured. There's a pattern to it. I just don't. I don't know what that pattern is yet. But there's a pattern where whenever you have to do this, I don't even know what you call it. But whenever you have to do something like this, there's a pattern to it. But I haven't figured that pattern out yet. I haven't done enough. I haven't made the question. I mean, the problem is, anyways, it's a very manual process for me to make the questions. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have to say one more thing.
Yeah.
If you can explain the question, like if you can say, I need a question that has two numbers, a two-digit number divided into a three-digit number, where blah 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 blah, right? Where it comes out even with no decimal. Like, give me a little like description of the question, and I can put it into ChatGPT, and it will give me like 10 questions like this. That's how I got questions to practice. I was like, I went to ChatGPT and I said, I'm trying to practice working on the abacus. Can you give me three two-digit numbers that will only require like a one-step process? And then I said to ChatGPT, does this make sense to you? And ChatGPT said, yes, that makes perfect sense. You don't want to do a two-step blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was so funny. And it gave me 10 questions. The one I gave you was one of the ones that ChatGPT gave me this afternoon.
Oh, and was it a one step or a two step?
Remember that one I gave you earlier today? It was like 20,
Oh,
13 plus 31 or something. I
oh,
forget. I gave you three
this.
two-digit numbers.
Uh,
15 plus 20 plus 36. No, no, go back to the other page. Go
that
back.
one. This
The
one.
one I gave you was, yeah, that one.
That's.
15 plus 20 plus 36.
Oh,
And it was like
oh
confusing to me because, yeah.
no, this was nothing.
Then it was 20. No, yeah, it was 15 plus 20. And then it had the 36. And then you had to subtract the 5 and add the 1 to get the 36.
This
Remember
one,
that
really?
36? No, above. No,
Yeah.
above.
So
Above.
no, let's
The
do
15.
15, 20,
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
20, and then
Right.
36. Oh, plus 30 plus the 5, take away the 2, and then plus the 6. This is a two step. This is a two step
Well,
because we have to plus the 10. See, I,
that's what, is
yeah,
that why it confused me?
yeah.
No,
See,
you didn't plus the 10 though. You subtracted the 5 and added the 1 when
uh,
you were showing it to me earlier.
Well, so
You
okay, so
subtracted the
I
5.
have the 36. Now I have to add
Uh-huh.
the 6.
So subtract the, this is what you did earlier. Earlier you subtracted the 5
Yes, because okay, so
and
the
then
what it is
added the 1.
I have to plus the 6, right? To plus the 6, I need to
Uh-huh.
plus the 10 and then take away the
Mm-hmm.
4. This minus 4 is my two-step
Mm-hmm.
equation. Now we're talking about minus 5. Because there's
Okay.
not
So
enough
you
beats.
minus,
Because there's not enough
so
beats
you,
to take away the
right,
4, I have to figure out another way to minus 4.
right.
So I have to minus the 5 plus the 1.
Okay. So of the 10 problems that ChatGPT gave me earlier, that was the one that didn't work, that I was stuck on.
Yeah.
But it did give me 9 that worked that I could do. This was why I said to you, "Can you do this one for me?" Because I was like, where's that 6 coming from?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that, like, if you want to like find like a group of problems that you can workshop, it might be worth going to ChatGPT and describing the kind of problem you want, and it'll spit out some suggestions.
Well, yeah, but then that's the thing. If I knew how to do it, then
Mhm.
I'd be able to just use like a formula, if that makes sense.
Okay,
So
just a
so
suggestion.
I no, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, and I was thinking about it, but I've the one thing that chat doesn't do is abacus because there's not enough information out there to do abacus. So that's why I've asked it many times, like, how do I divide? How do I even when I put my books into notebook.lm, even though I
Hmm.
put notebooks.lm, when they go through my notebook, when they go through my workbook, they say a few things wrong. And I know it's because they got it from like other places. So yeah, but yeah, that would be the one thing is like if I knew how to explain it, then I would be able to manifest the questions, manifest the questions. Busting numbers going over is like busting the dividend. Oh, like busting the dividend, huh?
Busting the dividend. Yeah, I don't understand what that
Oh,
means.
busting the dividend would be like, but it's not busting the dividend. It'd be the quotient, busting the quotient. So yeah, it would still be something like it wouldn't be like two-step. It wouldn't be like 2 digits and 3 digits. See there. That's what I'm saying is like I don't even know what the pattern is yet to be able to
Hmm.
explain why we would do this. I still have to manually go into like, okay, if 3 times 14, 3 times 15, 3 times 16, and I'd have to look at the answers to see, and I still haven't figured out like what makes it this, and I don't even know how to
Yeah,
solve
that
it.
was the perfect problem.
Yeah.
ACL, how did you come up with that brilliant
Oh, it was
division
Steven.
problem?
It was
Oh,
Steven.
Stephen, how did you come up with that brilliant problem?
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, this was one of the questions I would have never showed you guys because this is an intermediate. This is an intermediate information. Oh, is that me? Hey, Seth.
What?
Okay, sorry.
Okay. All right, I'm leaving again. I'm not coming back up here.
Okay. I chose 2 numbers to multiply and got the answer and then asked to solve it. Okay, have a good night, Dandelion. I just chose 2 numbers. I just got lucky. uh, is it still? It is still busting a number and then needing to readjust it. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, it's still busting a number and then needing to readjust it. Have a good night, Dandelion. Yeah, I think that was the thing. And that's what I would do. I would go through, multiply it, and then try to figure out how to solve it division wise. But it is tedious to go through it. There's a pattern. I just don't know what it is. Um, there's some people that know how can see the pattern, but they're unable to explain it. So, all right. Are we okay? Do we want to do more? Do we want to do less? You know what? It's like 10:30 my time. What's going on with everybody? Are we still going more? We did a little bit of cutting. We did a little bit of always more. Melinda. I don't think Melinda sleeps. I honestly don't think Melinda sleeps. So, okay. Okay. Well, if we workshop this, we can figure out we just happen to have 13 times 4. 13 times 14. I do sleep, but it's fun and I really enjoy participating. Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all of this with us and teaching. Yeah, not a problem. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the comments and questions and interaction. It does help to, be able to comment and read the comments so I'm not alone and just talking to myself. So I do appreciate it. I know sometimes though I talk really fast and having it quiet for a little bit kind of gets a little bit unnerving. But other than that, it's been good. But yeah, I there's something here. I just don't know what it is. All right. Okay. But I think it's time. Robert's been quiet, but I do think it's time to shut down. I do appreciate everybody's here. If anybody has any last minute questions, we can answer it. If Steve finds another question, we can answer that too. Yeah, there's something here. I just can't figure it out yet. Maybe try. Okay, let's try that. Let's try this. So, again, 13 divided by 206. So, again, we're going to find our starting point. Our starting point is 1. So we have our dividend. Where did I put my little... Nope. Here it is. All right. So I have my divisor and my dividend. And what are we doing? We're going to do... So my divisor, so we're going to start here because I see 3 and 2. Not a problem, right? So now I'm going to put my dividend 206. Who's bigger, dividend or divisor? Divisor is 1, dividend is 2. So then what's going to happen? Skip 1, eat 1. So I skip this column. What times 1 is equal to 2 or less? 1 times 2, so I add the 2. Whatever I do to this number, I got to do with this number. So 3 times 2 is equal to 6. 6. Oh, I got to take away the 2. Okay, this is it. This is it. So my finger was here. I took away the 2. There's not enough to take away 6 because I go to this one and I need to take away 6. Why? Because it's a single digit. So I go back 1 column and I take away 6. There's not enough. So I take 1 from the answer. I go back 2 and I add the divisor. So then my question changes. 3 times 1 is equal to 3. 3 is a single digit. I'm still here. I go back 1 column and I take away 7. I'm sorry, I take away 3. Take away 3 is take away the 10 plus the 7. Take away the 10 and I add the 7. So I'm done. Now I'm going to reassess. 1 or 7. 7 is bigger, so it's still skip 1, eat 1. So I skip this column, I'm here. 7 times 1 is equal to 7. So I put 7, and then I take away 1. This one's a good one. This one has a double. So what happens? There's not enough. 7 times 3 is equal to 21. Did I do that right? 7 times 3 is 21, not enough. I take 1 from the answer, go back, and then I get 16. So 6 times 3 is equal to 18. That's not enough. So I gotta take 1 from the answer, go back, no, yeah, go back and add 1. So then we're back to 5 times 3 is equal to 15. I don't know. Take away 1, take away 5. I don't know if I did that right. So then who's bigger? 1 or 1? They're the same. So then we go to 3 and 1. 3 and 1. 3 is bigger, so I take these two. That doesn't make sense. No, I don't think I did that right. 7. 1, 2, 0, 6. 1 times 1, 1 times 2, 1 times 2, so I got 2. 2 is over here, so I take away 2. That's not enough. That's not enough, so I go back 1, add the 1. So 1 times 3 meant 28. Okay, 18 sounds better. Yeah, okay, 18 sounds better because then we'd have the 6. Okay, that sounds good. So we do it again. We did 3 times 1 is equal to 3. 3 is a single digit. I go back 1 column. I take away 3. Cannot take away 3 from here. Minus the 10 plus the 7. Okay, so then I reassess 7. So I'm back to 7 and 1. 7 is bigger, so it's skip 1, eat 1. So I skip 1 column, so I add 7, and I take away 7. There's not enough, because 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 3 is equal to 21. There's not enough, so I take 1 from the answer. I go back to here, and I add the 1. So now I have 3 times 6 is equal to 18. So I take away 18. Yeah. Yeah. That one, that was nice because it was both times. That's interesting. But yeah, I don't know I don't know if there's a terminology for that. So my answer is 16. Answer is 16. All right. Okay, that was a lot. That was good though. That was really good. Alrighty. I did do 16. I knew it would break twice. How do you know that it would break twice? How would you know it broke twice? Yeah, that's a pattern I couldn't figure out. That's really interesting. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that it is interesting. I haven't figured out that pattern yet. I don't officially know, but it was something like how to do how to with 13 and 20 interaction. 13 and 20. Cuz 8 18. Okay. So if yeah. Yeah, there's something there. I mean, I haven't. I gotta. Yeah, I gotta play around with the numbers a little bit more in order to see. I know there's a pattern. I just don't know the pattern yet. It would make life a lot easier because then I'd be able to spit out the questions. I mean, that's what I did with I mean, that's what I did with this, right? With the adding and subtracting. I do a lot of adding and subtracting, so it's easy for me to understand how to make this as a pattern. But made made the odd to an even. Ah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Odds and evens. I have to marinate on that one. I have to marinate on that one a little bit. Um, yeah, there's something with the numbers that makes it break. And yeah, I'm sure that's what it is with the answer is 15.11 is the answer? No, the answer is 16. Um, the answer is 16. Take a Mona. Yeah. We changed. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, the answer is supposed to the question. I'm sorry. The question is supposed to be 8. You're right. Sorry, I forgot to change it. It was supposed to be this, and then it would work out. Yeah, there's something there. I just haven't figured that out yet. But yeah, that's like I'm on the cusp. I just need to work with the numbers more. Make more worksheets that goes with it. I know there's a lot of numbers, and then it gets really unruly when there's more digits. But that's like advanced because you got to keep track of all that stuff. All right. Okay. If there's no more last minute questions, I am going to sign off. We've been on for about 3 hours now. I would play. I would too play with this. Yeah. Yeah, I like to use I use I use Excel to help me, figure out those numbers and stuff. And so yeah, like building out the numbers has been really interesting. Um yeah. Yeah, and it's not just random numbers. It's not like throwing spaghetti on the wall. Because I know in mainstream math they're like just do this and there you go. But in abacus there is a set curriculum. There is a set methodology to do it. It's just breaking it down and trying to figure it out has been really interesting. My dyslexia is showing. Sorry. Oh, I didn't even know you were. I didn't even know you were because it was just kind of like one of those things. Like I know I say a lot of things backwards, but I don't know if I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't. It was fun. I need to go now. Hey, yeah. Have a good night. Thank you, Stephen. Yes, have a good night. I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna sign off. It's been a little bit. I do appreciate the workshop though. Thank you so much for the question, and thank you for your help, Melinda. Auto correcting my writing. Oh yeah, that's yeah, yeah. Autocorrects my writing too, and sometimes it's a little wrong. like when I'm doing my captions, it says advocates as opposed to abacus. And so it's like, come on already. I say abacus so much, you should be able to get it. But it's still, AI still thinks I'm saying advocates. Advocates. Anyways. All right. Okay. I'm gonna head out. I am gonna head out. I'm gonna thank you again, everybody. I appreciate it. You too. You sleep well too. I'm gonna marinate a little bit on that on the multiplication on the division question. Thank you again. Have a good night, and I'll see you in my next live. I'm gonna be live for sure tomorrow on YouTube at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time in the morning. You guys are welcome to join. It is what it is. Okay. Okay. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you again. And I will see you guys all in the next live. Bye.